Well, hi, here we are. It's Lisa and Leah on our After Nine segment as part of AM800. And we had a good show today on AM800 CKLW. And here we are in our After Nine segment. Just a few minutes we'd like to spend with you later on in the day, just to get any leftover stuff, things that we had to say, things we had on our mind out of the way. How are you today?
I'm good. I am good. It's kind of a cloudy day though. I'm much more of a sunny day kind of gal.
You
But
don't say.
but cloudy days are good for sleeping. So, if it's a little cloudy, a little rainy, if you can have a little nap,
You going to have a
always
nappy poo today?
I don't know if I will or not. We'll have to see. Have to see how
Oh,
that goes.
all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I have an idea that I'm going to nap today, but honestly, the days I want to nap, it never happens. Like for some reason, and the days that I'm like, okay, I'm just going to skip a nap, and I gotta get all this stuff done. That's when I'm at my most tired, and I'm just. It's
Dragon.
never the way you plan, right? I
No,
don't know how people on midnights do it. I really don't. Like, you work midnights and then you have to come home and you have to sleep in a room that is hopefully darkened. And then, like, what if somebody comes to the door? I'd be so mad,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah, and you need white noise and earplugs and a face mask and like all of that stuff. All of it. I think anyway.
And a
That's
very cooperative family,
yes.
right? Yes. Yes. Oh, Cheryl says the sun is shining in Bell River. Wow. We're not there yet, Cheryl.
Yeah, it looks like it was just trying to peek out here, but it's supposed to be cloudy for the most part today.
Yep.
So I don't know. I ran out to the backyard earlier this morning when we were on the air and it started looking really gray. And I thought I should try to cover up the furniture. And you know what? Like, have you it covering up lawn furniture is like trying to put a sheet on a bed by yourself.
Yes.
You got to walk around a million times. Like if I showed you the one love seat that is barely covered. I was yanking and pulling on it. And I had my socks on when I went outside because my feet were cold this morning. And then they started getting wet. So I'm like, oh, forget it. And I'm pulling on those things. So usually it's a two-man job. It's a two-person job. No, the picture's not upside down. It's not at all behind me. Somebody
I
wants
can
to
see why somebody would think that because it looks like the words are, is it French or what does it say?
yeah, Poppy. Poppy. It says Poppy.
Poppy?
Hi.
Oh, okay. Well, no, it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
I love
But yeah,
Poppy.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can see where somebody would want to think that. Yeah, is it easier to bring the cushions in on their
No.
own or to cover the chair?
Thank you. No, it is not because we have too many. We have two love seats. Each one of them has two. So that's eight right there. Then we have a chair and it's got two as well, like for the seat and the back. So now you're 10. We have a dining room set with four chairs that have seat covers. Now you're 14. And
You
we
have
have
a cover for your dining room set?
yeah, no, I don't have a cover for it, but
Oh,
those pillows I have like a deck box to put them in.
oh, yeah, okay.
Right, you know what I mean? So, but
Yes.
I would need a massive deck box which we don't have for
Oh,
the 10. Like it's just too many. It's like decorative pillows at home. My husband's like there's too many pillows everywhere.
my girlfriend bought one of those sheds. It's a shed with double doors, but it's not deep.
Mhm.
It's sort of like half a shed, and
Yeah.
that is strictly for her outdoor cushions.
Pillows, yeah. Well, so we did that for a while. We'd throw them in the garage, right? Well, then of course they'd end up all over the place and nothing was stacked up right. And I'm like, nope, I'm getting covers. So I'd always buy the covers like on sale, and we have the covers go into a deck box. Like it's a lot of work. I should just like cement it over and say, screw it, or
That's
not
it.
have anything that requires
Nobody's
extra
sitting
pillows.
anywhere ever. No, we'll stay inside. Forget it.
I mean, that's why we're getting like an awning, like a covered awning, so that it's going
Yes.
to be, I don't have to cover them and they won't
Yes.
get wet.
That's like ours. We
That's
just
the
leave them
goal.
out. We actually leave them out all year, and we don't have to cover them or anything because we have a covered deck. So that
Yeah,
helps big time.
beauty, man. So I can't wait, but we're not getting it till the end of the summer, I don't think. Come on, Mike, get after it.
Get
He's
after what?
he not Mike K. Cook. Mike is the guy who's doing our awning. So I'm
Oh,
like, come
like
on,
we
Mike.
knew that. Like we're supposed to know that, Leah.
No, that's what I'm talking to him. Come on, Mike. He's probably not even watching anyways. He's busy making awnings. So
Oh, very good.
yeah.
Look at that haircut, Leah. You rock star. Yes, a new do for you.
Well, yeah,
Looks good.
I went
You
under.
did you take scissors to your own hair?
No, I went underground. I have a friend who said she was going to get her haircut, and I'm like, hey, can you ask him if he'll do mine? So
And
before
he
I knew
did.
it, I said, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. Ew, it was short.
Which is nothing new for you because you generally do that, right?
I get to a certain point and then I'm like, oh, just get rid of it. So yeah, it's short and sassy like me, I think.
Yeah, people like it. People like it.
I can't see your
Um,
comments, so
yeah. Um, talking about, I think over those things are pretty pricey. The boxes, yes. Somebody said the boxes um go to, where was this? Lowe's on Walker Road had a huge one.
yeah, so there is, and it is huge. It's like the size of a big dog house. Like they're really big. Um, I don't know if I want one. Like we have three deck boxes. We have one for all the pool supplies, right? Because we have
Yep.
all the tubes to vacuum the pool. All that crap goes in a deck box by the pool. Then we have one for the cushions for the patio set where you eat. And we have those little, are they little bolster pillows? I don't even
Yep.
use those. They're like, those came with the patio set where you eat. I don't even use those. And then the next one is up on the other deck where we have the couple of love seats in the chair. So, but you have to look for a sale. Go to Flip. If you have Flip downloaded, you can Google anything and you'll find sales on it.
Okay,
Deck box.
what is that? It's an app, but what is Flip? What is it for?
Flip is an app, FLIPP, and it has all the flyers of all the different stores. And if you go to, like, I go to the superstore, so I price match everything. So when I'm shopping, like when I walk into the superstore and I see they want like uh 4.88 a pound for cherries, I'm like, not a chance. Pull out my phone. No, 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 no. And then I search cherries, and then it'll be like, oh, Food Basics has them for $1.88 a pound. I'm in. I flip it, it circles it. So then when I get up to the cash, they have to price match it.
So, so say you find 5 items like that in your grocery shopping
Yep.
excursion. And then
Yep.
when you get to the cash, do you have to show them your phone?
Yeah.
Like just hold it up?
Yeah, it's my list, and then you'll have all the things that you have circled that are cheaper elsewhere. And you get rid of the expired ones, and you can also search for a deal on something. So if you're looking for something like, I don't know, like, pick something, pick deck boxes, for example. Deck boxes, you type that in, it'll say, well, Canadian Tire, this size is on sale. Home Depot has these ones on sale, or it'll say no searches found. So it just depends. So if you're looking
Well,
for butter and chicken, like all that kind of stuff.
how do you know who price matches and who doesn't?
Well, it's in that case, it's not about price matching. It's probably about finding the cheapest price for a box if that's what you're looking for, like for the
And,
size box that you want.
okay.
But
Okay.
some of those places do. Like Zehrs, who even though they're part of the Loblaw chain, like the
Yeah.
Superstore is, they don't price match. But Superstore does.
That's weird.
I know it is weird. I thought,
So when you hold up your phone, will they scan it with their scanning gun?
no, they just need to know either the price per item and they will give it to you, or they need the price per kilogram if it's in pounds. Isn't it so stupid? Like you think about it, we're metric, but we
Yeah.
still have food items in pounds.
Right.
So there's always a kilogram price too. So you just tell them the store, and generally the cashiers, because they are whippersnappers, those girls and boys, men and women, they'll know what the cheapest price is for a given item.
Have you heard of Reebie?
It was the first one I used, but I think Flip is better.
Okay, you suddenly got louder. Why is that? That's awesome.
I don't know. I didn't
Oh,
change.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think I used Reebie at first. Thank you for that, Kim. But I think Flip is better. But it's the same idea. It's the same idea. So yeah,
Wow.
I do points. Like I do point stuff. Do you do points? No.
Oh, yeah, PC Points.
Yeah.
When I shop there, I don't always shop at the same place. Like I'm all over the place.
Really?
Yep. Sometimes I'll go to Metro. Sometimes I'll go to Fred's. Sometimes I'll go to DeMarco's, a little grocery store around the corner. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
it just depends on where I am that day and what's convenient for me. But yeah, I don't like PC Points, yes, but air miles I don't get. So, like
No,
at Metro, they'll ask you if you have air miles.
yeah, they do. And also at the liquor store. And I always think, damn, I should have air miles. I'm at the liquor store.
That's right. And I should think that I think that too, but I don't. I don't know what you have to do. I don't know. I don't know how you get those. Anyway.
Do you remember when they had air miles and they had a big schmozzle about it because they were telling people, well, you can't use it for this and you can't use it for that. And then they were getting rid of the air miles program, if I'm not mistaken. And people were really upset about the way the program was. Like the same idea. Speaking of, love Tim Hortons. I'm a Tim Hortons girl. They have the stupidest app. Like you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
pay. Like I have a bunch of points on that. So I went to pay for more than one item. Well, you can't do that on
What do
Tim
you
Hortons.
mean?
Well, you can pay for your coffee. But if you get a coffee and a sandwich, as far as I know, at least when I went to use it, you can't use the points to pay for the sandwich. Only the coffee, if I'm not
So you can
mistaken.
only use your points for one item at a time?
I believe so. Yes. Try
Yeah,
it if you have any.
that's dumb.
I
That's dumb.
know.
Yeah.
Tom, change
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. 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 Tim Hortons is always struggling to somehow fit in, but they just don't do it like everybody else. Stacey says the LCBO doesn't do air miles anymore.
Oh,
Okay, good to know. Good
yeah,
to know.
maybe. When did they finish that, Stacy? It must have been recently. I thought I remember being asked, "Do you have air miles?" Maybe it's been a while. Somebody else asked me about air miles though. Maybe it's just Metro because they ask you when you have to go through. Do you have coupons? Do you have air miles? It's like, stop it. How many bags are you using? 0, but I'm taking 3.
Because I don't want to pay for them.
Absolutely. I'm not paying for a bag.
And have you noticed that some grocery stores still bag your stuff for you? Like Metro, they will bag. The person will
Yeah.
do the bagging for you. It's almost like they don't want you involved. Back off. I'll hand you the bag when I'm done packing your groceries. Zehrs, it's all you and you better hurry up. Here's your wad of bags. And you hurry up while I start bringing through everybody else's stuff. So you're like trying to hurry, get out of the way. Oh my gosh, here comes their stuff, crowding your stuff.
Well, and
It's
many
like,
times I say that, but many times I don't use bags. The only problem with that is stuff starts rolling around in the back of my car because I'll
right.
get like 6 apples and I won't even put them in one of those plastic bags. So then I'm like, oh geez. And they're like, do you want a bag? I'm like, any bags? I'm like, no, I'm good. I toss them back in the cart, toss them in the back of the car, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that watermelon. I wonder when
Yep.
I open up the back of the car if it's going to plop out onto the ground.
Yep. That's happened to me before. Yep. You open up the back and I'm always underneath waiting for something to
Yeah.
roll out.
Hey,
Exactly the same thing.
as long as it's not a bottle of booze, we're good.
Hey, what's the big deal while we're talking about this? And Mary says shoppers will not pack your stuff anymore.
Yeah, go away.
Shopper, like what's the big deal with people having to use self-checkout? To me, it's a plus. I enjoy using self-checkout. The only time that I go to self-checkout and I'm like, oh, I can't be here is when I get a gift card and I forget.
Well, but I think it's also because people are like, it's taking jobs away from other people, right? As well. And you're losing that human connection in some ways. But I mean, that's the way we're going. They've got
It's
the technology.
technology.
Yeah,
You can't stall everything
I
for
know.
that reason. Other jobs are created in other ways.
I agree. I agree. So, but shoppers, I mean, I don't know. Do you need a cashier at Shoppers?
Depends if you're getting a gift card or if you're,
Thing. You're
yeah.
like you're packing your own stuff, like you say. It's not like the groceries are any cheaper. Why don't they be like if you are going to go in the pack your own lane, you get 10% off.
Well,
Nothing was cheaper. So they got rid of hiring people. You're doing it on your own. I mean, they have cashiers at the superstore, but you're right. You're still bagging it on your own. There are a few of the girls there that I've noticed will help you do it, but they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to do it.
at Shoppers, I mean, at Zehrs.
At yeah, Zehrs or the superstore, whatever. All I've been saying to a lot of those people is don't put up with any shit from anybody, because all those people are getting beaten up by frustrated uh, COVID people and people sick of COVID, right? And it's always like, be kind to these people. They don't make the rules. It's like when something goes wrong with the radio station. We don't make the rules. We just work here. Take it higher up the chain to the people that are getting paid the big bucks, right?
Yep. Yep. Um, I prefer, says Candace, to bag my own. I get no bags at grocery. I keep my bags in the trunk, bag it myself. I'm picky how my groceries are packed. I agree, Candace. I try and load when I'm unloading my cart onto the conveyor. I try and load in the way that I want things packed. You know what I mean? Like I've got, okay, the canned goods, but then I put some light stuff on top of that. And then I leave a gap. And then I'm like heavy and then a little bit of light on top. And then I leave a gap. Um, Purely a suggestion because by the time I get up there, not everything happens that way. It's all over the place. But yeah, interesting time, isn't it, to grocery shop? Now, is that something you enjoy? Or is it like one of those things where you'd prefer somebody else do it?
Oh no, I'm going. I don't mind grocery shopping and I'm not doing it online. I don't want anybody picking out my fruit for me in case, I don't want to get all Karen and have to return 2 apples to the store, which I will if they're bad. Apples are over $1 a piece these days when I buy them. I'm like, better be a good apple or it's going back.
I cannot pick a good watermelon to save my life. And Sarah is the watermelon queen in our house. So now I've said, listen, and she'll cut it open. She'll be like, no, can't do it. Mom, it's all my, I'm like, listen, I am not buying another watermelon. You go and pick out the watermelon. So she does. She goes and she gets the ones that are already pre-sliced. So you can see them, see how they look inside, which is, I guess, the best way to do it. But
and you can poke through them. You can poke it and go, yeah, I think that's okay. It's not mushy.
You're the one with the finger hole in the watermelon? Nice. Wow. Wow.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah, I think, yes. Well, I don't know. Craig likes to grocery shop, but sometimes he'll go like on a weekend. I'll say, oh, I got a grocery shop. I got to do a big grocery shop this weekend sometime. And then he'll just go and he'll come home without telling me he's at the grocery store. And part of me is like, oh, thank you so much. That saved me a lot of time. And then the other part of me is like, you couldn't have told me you were there. Like I could have given you a list and we already have that. We already have that. We already have that. We already have that. And then he's like, well, now we'll be set.
Yeah. Do you ever come home and along those lines, you come home and you're like, oh, good thing I bought an extra jar of mayonnaise today. And then you come home because I don't really do a list per se. I try. And then I'm thinking, oh, I think I need this. So then I get home and I'm like, oh, shoot. There's a half of one in the fridge and there's 2 other ones in the cupboard. And
oh my
now
gosh.
I bought a third. How much mayo does one girl need?
I know. It's almost like you have to take inventory, take stock, have a look around, remind yourself of what you have and what you don't have. But generally, I can't get angry because I know he's doing it for a very good reason. And it did save me a lot of time. However, I still have to go out anyway because there's 5 extra things I don't have that I could have had if you told me you're at the store.
Yeah, and if somebody tells me in my family that they want something, I'll get it for them. But if somebody's like, yeah, but I don't like for example, we've gone through the whole thing about ketchup. And I'm like, well, I'm not buying Heinz ketchup anymore. Well, Heinz is the best. I said, well, I get Primo or I get French. You want
Yep.
Heinz ketchup, you better haul your ass to the grocery store because I'm not getting it for you. So if I'm doing the shopping, I pick out what I think
Yes.
we need.
Absolutely the way it should be. Yes.
You want to do it? Go get your own.
That's right. Like your watermelon. Get your
Yes.
own. I've given up. My God.
Exactly.
How many times do you grocery shop a week?
Two. Two, I think.
Mm.
Two.
So
I was
you'll
at
only find yourself in a grocery store 2 times a week.
maybe three, I guess. It depends. Like, I don't do one big haul and then never see the inside of a store again. No, 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 no. And especially during COVID, where like there was nowhere else to go, and I need to get out of my house. Like, I just can't look at my four walls because that means there's things I should probably do around the house that I don't want to do. I'm out the door. Oh yeah, I'm going. I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah. Jason says they go once a week for groceries. Some people go every couple of days. You know, Cam Gardner, who I used to work with,
Yes.
his routine was that he would go every day and
Yeah,
he would
that
only buy the food
that he needed.
that he was going to eat that day. So what he was going to eat for lunch and what he was going to eat for dinner.
Great.
And
That's only
Cam
that's only
struggled
good.
with his weight his whole life. And I
Yeah.
think part of it was like, if I don't have extra food, then I won't eat it. The other part is, and that makes sense, is that you have exactly what you need for that day and there's no waste. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's and they do, a lot of people places in Europe do that, right? I mean, not always, but now that more and more, but some people that's part of their routine is on their way home from Europe or on the way home from work, you stop or you go to a little market and you get this, fresh that, and you don't fill your fridge up. It's always interesting, I find watching all of those like home shows, which I love, and I'm sure you do too, like House Hunters or whatever. And then they're like, yeah, I really want a Western style kitchen because the kitchen in Europe is like this little tiny, and there's like a half a fridge and there's no oven. And
Yep.
wow,
You got to
wow.
deal with it. You got to deal with what you've got and use it that way. Yes, Cheryl, I do my list on my phone. I always have it there. And then I enjoy erasing that erase, reverse, erase. And then sometimes it'll go too fast and it'll erase the 2 items above it. And I'll be like, I have no idea
What those were?
what that was. But yes,
I don't even know my kids' phone numbers because we don't have a landline anymore. I can't even tell you what their numbers are because they're just in my contacts.
Why do you need to know?
Well, but you're just things that you're saying you don't even know if you've erased something too far. But it's like you just rely on your phone for that kind of stuff. Like, I don't need to think about what's on my list. I'm just going to type it in and then it's on my phone. But it's the same with their phone numbers. If I had to actually phone them, I don't think I could. Do you know
Okay.
your
Nope,
phone numbers?
I don't. I know Craig's. I know mine. I know my parents' landline.
What is
And
that?
that's about it.
You
That's
don't need
about it.
That's not funny.
No, but I don't need to. Right there. Click. Hello. Hello. They're there. Hello. You don't have to. That's the thing. You can empty your brain. It leaves more room for other crap to just go in the slots instead
I don't
of
know.
yeah, for sure.
I don't
Nobody
know.
knows any phone numbers. Everybody's saying that. Joanne, it's still in your phone if you get rid of it accidentally. Really? My list? How? How? I have it in my notes. My notes
That's right.
section.
Do the notes. I've got lots of notes. I've got places I want to visit in Greece. I've got
Hey,
there's lots of 25
good
different notes.
good segue. Good segue. Bucket list destinations we want to travel after the pandemic. Okay. There was a survey done. Everybody wants to get out of here and people want to
Let's
do it in
save
a
it.
big way, Leah.
Save it till tomorrow. We've been on for
Why?
25 minutes already.
No. Listen, I just want to get this out of the way. It's not worth saving.
No.
Yes. 59% of people said they plan to jump back into travel with a bucket list vacation they would not have considered before the pandemic. They weren't eager to do it. Now they want to do it. And the Grand Canyon was on the list, the Eiffel Tower, Niagara Falls, Statue of Liberty, the Colosseum in Rome, and the Las Vegas Strip. In general, Rome was number one on people's wish lists for international travel, followed by Paris, London, Venice, Italy, Sydney, and Honolulu, the number one destination in the US.
Yeah, well, I can see that with a bunch of those places. Not all of them. God, if you haven't been to Niagara Falls, like, why bother at this point in your life? I mean, good God, is this Canadians they asked? Or people from Ontario? You haven't been to the falls? Hands up if you live in Windsor and Essex and you haven't been to the falls. Don't
Leah,
bother. Don't even
Leah,
bother coming home.
there's a lot of people who have not been out of the city.
Oh, for God's sake, how is that even possible?
Well, maybe they can't afford it, or they just, like, you grow up and you do the things you grew up doing with your parents. And if your parents weren't travelers, maybe they go camping. Maybe they have a cottage in Rondo, or maybe they have a camper, they go somewhere in Ontario or whatever, or locally. I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that just don't have the desire because their family never did it, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I'm with you. Like, take me
Oh yeah,
anywhere.
no. So we missed our anniversary trip. So we're back to Italy for sure because I love Italy. But we have to always go when there's a beach. I can't go to Italy and not hang out on a beach for a few days.
Yeah.
And then in the afternoon, have a little aperitivo and then go for dinner and maybe get some gelato somewhere. But I got to hang out at an Italian beach on the Adriatic Sea all day long. So I got to do that.
Lovely.
And Greece. I'm down with Greece. Haven't done
Yep.
Greece yet. So
Yep.
Italy will be trip number 3, but Greece will be the first time. And I think we need to get on that. But I'd
Yeah.
really like somebody to plan it for me.
Yeah, I agree.
hate planning it.
I agree. Because you just don't trust it, right? You don't know that you're making the right decision with the best spot at the most affordable price. You just don't know.
So yeah, anyway, so I have that in my notes. There's a couple of little places that I thought about going to, and yeah, and I want to also go to Croatia.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful spot. Absolutely beautiful. All right. I'm on board. Wherever you want to go, count me in.
and I think that we need a big ass girls' weekend away
Yep.
or trip.
Italy. Let's do it. Let's go to Debbie Travis's Tuscany villa
Oh God.
where we can take cooking classes. And I don't know that you'll find a beach, but I'm sure you'll find a massage bed somewhere.
Somewhere there.
Jason asked a good question. Anyone interested in cruise ships yet?
No, don't cruise. I'm not a cruiser.
Yeah, and you weren't before either, right?
No, no.
Yeah, I don't know about the cruise lines.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Well, they've
Yeah,
already all these cruise ships that already started back up. They've already got people with COVID on them. So
I
I don't know
know.
what they're doing. Like, are they shutting down those ships? I haven't looked to see.
I don't.
Like,
I don't
well, no
know.
surprise there. Beyond the headline.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but there's an industry that's really going to struggle, continue to
Yeah.
struggle, I think. All right, we'll call it a day and back tomorrow. Thank you, Leah. And you're here all week. Stay dry, my friend.
I will. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Okay. See everybody. Thanks for watching.